channel. I greatly appreciate you being here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I trust you will love this vibe. And everything you need to know about me is in the description below. This can be past, present, or future. You or someone around you. So take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else. This is a general read. This is not a personal read. And if you like a personal read, just check out the description below, and I'll be happy to assist you with doing so. Remember that tarot is a tool. It is not the final rule. It is a good idea to have an empty cup when you are on Lady Noble's channel and you really want to see what's up. As you see today, I have the divination board out today. We're going to do one question, one answer, okay? But before we do the one question, one answer, we're going to do 2 deep breaths. Breathe in through the nose, hold for 3 seconds, then release, okay? We're going to do 2 of them. Breathe in. Release. Breathe in. Release. Now I want you to consider the question that you would like to ask. And now we're going to begin the pendulum swing. Okay, collective. The consistency that I have is between the months of December, January, Capricorn, Aquarius, between Sunday and Monday, Thursday and Leo. Between the months of December, January, Capricorn, Aquarius, between Sunday and Monday, Thursday in the zodiac sign, Leo. So take that into account according to the question that you asked. We're now going to tap into the tarot. Okay. That's where to sit my things. Find somewhere to sit my things. Find somewhere to sit my things. Gotta make space. Hope you all are doing wonderful, feeling lovely and bubbly. All right. What is it that the collective needs to know for their highest good, Holy Spirit? What does the collective need to know for their highest good regarding the divination? Okay. Anything else? All right. Okay, let's roll over here. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. To get my cards together. Being told to start with the star energy. Someone is shining bright like a star. Someone is shining bright. You're shining very bright. You could be someone who has overcame a lot in your life. You could be someone who's going through some kind of renewal in your life, maybe a separation. This could be a separation from a relationship, okay? This could also be a separation from a frame of thinking, a mindset, a change in the way that you perceive people, places, and things in your life. You could be undergoing some kind of mental renewal, some kind of mental awakening. You could be having lots of aha moments about life, about who you are, your existence, where you come from, things you desire, what choices to make. Okay, so this is a lot of positive energy. The star card meaning the upright. And you have been in awe of all that you have been finding. You've been receiving a lot of clarity, collective. And as you see, she's looking up and gazing at this beautiful bright star here. And this string here represents the amount of time, whether it was days, weeks, hours, minutes, moments, whatever it has taken you to come to this point in your life where you are awakened and you are able to shift your perception. So this is a beautiful energy here, okay? And so while you're going through this awakening of, having a realization of who you are, and what direction you want to go moving forward, I also see someone experiencing a lot of, releasing. You're releasing and leaving behind a lot of baggage, people, places, and things, anything that does not serve you for your highest good. I see someone leaving it all behind. I also see someone possibly throwing out a lot of things. You could be cleaning your home. You could be maybe getting rid of old things you're not using. You could be giving things away or just throwing them away. I see someone cleaning their house and doing a very good job. You're decluttering, you're organizing, okay? So you're working on the inside as well as the outside. You're also allowing people to fall to the side. Those who do not resonate with you, those who do not support you in your life, your choice or your choice of belief system. Something about a belief system. Maybe you are someone who's studying, practicing, or involved in some kind of unorthodox belief. Maybe you're the first in your lineage, the first in your family to partake in some kind of belief system. So you're gathering with new energy, new like-minded energy, and so those people of the past could be really watching you. You have people staring at you. You are the topic of discussion. They don't know what to say about you. Those who want to slander your character, they just can't, because the change that you have made, collective, is very beautiful. And it's beautiful in a massive way. There's nothing negative here that I'm picking up that you're doing. You're just working on yourself wholeheartedly, inside and out. You could be working on your health. You could be working on a fitness regimen, okay? Someone's trying out different diet plans. You could be reading more, wanting to do more research and study. You could be taking up, I'm seeing some about arts and crafts, okay? Maybe there's a particular class or course or something you want to learn or study, and you're not letting anything get in the way. I hear someone saying no more excuses. So maybe in the past you were, reluctant to start on endeavors that you desire. But I hear someone saying no more excuses. Once your mind is made up, you're moving forward. You're not wasting any time. Okay. It's not that you're anxious. It's not that you're full of anxiety. You are no longer allowing anyone, people, places, or things, not even your own mindset, to get in your way of you being successful, of you progressing in life, whether this is in your career, your love relationship, your finances, your health, your appearance, building your money, starting a business, going back to school, expanding your family. So put it where it resonates, but it looks good on you. You're very spiritually in tuned and inclined. You're someone, you have a strong relationship with source. Doesn't matter what your belief system is. All are welcome here on this channel. But you're more likely, you're very intuitive, whoever you are. You listen to your intuition. You do not disregard it. There's a lot of people who disregard it, or, okay, they're oblivious to the messages and the signs and synchronicities that are sent to them on a daily from their ancestors, from source, from spirit. We pray and ask for things, but, the signs and symbols, will arrive, and your answers will arrive here on the planet Earth in the matrix in many different ways. But there are many people who disregard and ignore. I don't see you ignoring at all. You could be into meditation, okay? Or you could be someone who does a lot of prayer, someone who does a lot of journaling, someone who believes in getting out into nature, okay? Maybe you listen to different frequencies, different subliminals as well, okay? Lots of high vibrational spiritual work is being done. Lots of cleansing, lots of organizing. It's like you're organizing it's like a closet that was messy. Maybe you were a shopaholic, okay, and maybe you had like too many shoes, so many items where you open the closet and there's still price tags on things because these are items you never wore. I see you just going through this closet and cleaning out and getting rid of everything. And it doesn't matter if it's brand new. It doesn't matter if it's expensive. You're being honest with yourself. You're like, no, this has to go. This closet needs order. This has to go. And we're cleaning it today. We're not going to put it off until tomorrow. We're not going to say, oh, I'm going to save this to give to so-and-so, because that's a hoarder's mentality. You are really, you're handling business. You're walking the walk. You're not talking the talk. You go now. You go now. You're ready to give birth to something new. The day-to-day thing that's been occurring in your life, it's become bored, quite boredom to you, the day-to-day. Seeing the same people, talking to the same people, doing the same thing. Okay, it's the weekend. We're going to go out. We're going to get turned up. Okay, holding the porcelain. Okay, now you got to vomit. Now you got a hangover. Now, The same old thing. I'm picking up someone who's bored and you're ready to give birth to something new, but you're not just talking about it, you're taking action. And it's like freaking out people around you. And you're doing this with so much elegance and class, male or female, gender is fluid in tarot. You're doing this with so much elegance and class, okay? Someone may say, well, where have you been, Collector? We haven't seen you. You know, we met up. We went to the bar last night. We didn't see you. We thought you were coming up there. And you're like, oh, yeah. You're likely to respond like, oh, yeah. And they're looking like, what is going on? So I see someone eventually actually letting go old friends, not letting go anyone with malice or hatred, but realizing, isolation brings elevation. And the best way to accelerate your life and progress forward, you have to acknowledge and realize when you have outgrown people, places, and things. No one is put in our life to stay forever. And quite often as humans, we believe that we're supposed to stay in connections. Doesn't matter whether it's a marriage, whether you're dating, whether it's family, friends. We believe we're supposed to stay forever. People are putting in your life for you to learn a lesson and move on and move forward gracefully, and not move on with anger or not move on with resentment, but learning the lesson and moving forward. But you're letting a lot of people go. If you haven't done it yet, I see it coming. I see you making your mind up like, okay, I'm just going to stop showing up at so-and-so's house. I'm just going to stop opening my front door when they pull up. I'm just going to stop responding to text messages. When they invite me, I'm not going. I see you making that decision. Maybe lately you've been wavering, maybe still going to the shindigs, someone invite you somewhere. Maybe you get dressed, you go for an hour or two, but you're just bored. You're showing up, but you're very bored. It does not interest you anymore. And Spirit is saying this is normal. This is part of your elevation. This is part of your self-awareness. This is part of your awakening. Do not have survivor's remorse or feel guilty. This is part of you pivoting in a new direction. So begin to embrace and honor the gift of separation. It will take you far. You or someone around you could have Leo in your chart. You're very strong, you're very balanced, and you know what you want. You have all the answers. You have all the answers, and the steps that you are taking so far are the right steps. And if it's crossing your mind, because I'm picking up on someone who's mentally like thinking like, I gotta just leave this. I gotta just leave these people alone. They bore me. You haven't said it out your mouth, but you're showing up when they invite you, and you're like, I gotta stop coming over here. This just really sucks. This is getting old. You're like, look, time is moving on. I'm getting older. This is old. It's time to do something different. You may desire to travel, to somewhere foreign. You may desire maybe to listen to different music. This is normal. This is all normal. Okay. And with the Chariot energy here, Spirit is saying it's time for you to tame and maintain your balance. Okay. With this Chariot energy here, to tame it and maintain your balance. It is your responsibility. It is our responsibility. Responsibility. It is our responsibility to maintain our peace and our happiness. No one is going to do it for us. We can set the boundaries, but we also have to enforce them. People will not enforce, boundaries that you set. You have to make sure that they are enforced, meaning once you make a decision, you have to not waver from that decision. You have to be strong and keep moving on. You can't waver. There's nothing back there. Spirit is saying there's nothing back there. So don't be afraid of this new energy, because this is something that is new to you. You're supposed to get bored. You're supposed to show up and be turned off and don't know what it is. Because I'm hearing somebody say, I don't know what it is. It wasn't it. It was, usually maybe you show up, you're having a good time. You're like, this ain't it. And you're looking good, your money looking good, you're smelling good, but you're like, this is just not it. It's because you've outgrown it. It's time to do something else. And this is your moment. This is your time. You're preparing to undergo a great awakening that is for your highest good. That's going to lead you to more success, bliss, and prosperity. And that's why we started off with the star energy. And as I was throwing the cards out, I was going to put it in the deck, and Spirit said, no, start with the star. Let them know who they are. So you are the star energy. So you may not be where you want to be, but you're not where you used to be. And the simple fact that you are connecting with Source, and you are changing your mindset and taking action. You're walking the walk and not talking the talk. People can talk a good game all day, but very few choose to put in the work to present that action with the Fool card here. And you're very brave. You're very brave. You're very courageous. You don't care what it looks like to others. You're ready to move forward. I see someone being very prosperous, possibly. Maybe you will get into some form of entrepreneurship, or maybe you become, if not entrepreneurship, I see you being a leader of some kind of brand or some kind of business, coming up with some kind of skill that's going to lead you to an extra stream of income. But even if, like this person on the edge of this cliff, it looks like they're about to fall back. But as you see the expression on her face, this person is not worried about falling at all. They're trusting and knowing that there's a higher power working for them on their behalf. So what looks foolish and silly to those on the outside? Spirit is saying, never mind the naysayers. This is your life. This is your journey. This ride and this path, this awakening is only for you to understand and understand, collective. It is not for others to have an understanding of why you are doing what you are doing. It is not for your friends to understand why you're not showing up to the party. You do not owe anyone an explanation. And if you try to spend your time explaining every action of every step you take, you're going to drive yourself dizzy and you're going to overwhelm yourself. Once again, Spirit is saying it is not for them to understand. So basically, what Source is saying, no matter what you explain to them, how or when, they're going to find a way to create some kind of friction with you. They're going to call you arrogant. They're going to say you think you all that. You forgot where you came from. They're going to try to create some kind of friction, because what people don't like is change. And even when they're not the one doing the change, we are all reflections and mirrors to each other. And when we see other people, when humans see other people working towards progress, it makes them feel some type of way. Even if they are a total stranger, they begin to get jealous. They begin to get envious. Some will stick around at the beginning and they'll come off and pretend. They'll pretend like they admire what you do. Oh, they're so happy for you. But hold on, that admiration will swiftly turn into envy. I did a speech on that on my channel. It's in the archives. You should check it out. When admiration turns into envy, that's a very dangerous thing. When you have people around you who pretend like they are supporting you, but they end up turning against you because your progress, it sends a reflection to their spirit, to their soul, and it reminds them of areas in their life that they have chosen not to resolve or deal with, healing or trauma they have chosen not to address, maybe goals or things they wanted to do in life, but they chose personally not to partake. That is a them problem, not a you problem. And that's why it's very important to honor the gift of separation when you're working on any kind of progress. It doesn't have to be that you're getting into spirituality. It doesn't have to be that you're a tarot reader. It doesn't matter who you are. Any form or level of progress that you are working on in your life, trust and believe. I don't care who you are. There will be that one person who will, like they are applauding for you, but the more you move forward, and I don't care if you are as slow as Mr. Turtle. We know the turtle moves slow. We know the turtle moves slow. I don't care who you are. The more you move forward, it's going to pee them off. They're going to become envious. They're going to become jealous. They're going to try to sabotage, slander your character, rather than focus on themselves and find out what are their passions and work on that. So that's why you always hear people say it's lonely at the top, because people really, in actuality, I hate to break it to you, but I'm really glad to say it to you. People don't want nobody to be happy. Nobody wants nobody to be successful or happy. It's a whole lot of pretending going on around here, collective. It's a whole lot of pretending, and I'm going to talk about it. I ain't going to play about it. It's a whole lot of pretending. When you get to that state of peace and prosperity in your life, and I'm not just talking about money, people will envy your peace. People will envy that you are content. People will envy that you are resourceful, that you are self-efficient, that you know how to handle your business. And these can be people that don't even know you. They will inflict their insecurities onto you. And that's what the jealousy and the envious is. It is the unresolved issues within themselves that you have nothing to do with. Once again, it's a them problem. And that's why we honor the gift of separation with the Six of Swords, because it is most definitely important to make sure that you are continuously prosperous, that make sure that you give yourself happiness and bliss. No one cares about you having peace and maintaining peace. And you cannot enjoy anything in this world without peace, whether it's your husband, your wife, your lover, your man, a new car, a home, money, whatever it is, your career. You can't enjoy anything without peace. And people will constantly try wherever they see peace, wherever they even smell is a little peace, they become irritated and they want to create that friction. And so we as humans, individually, Source is saying through this read, make sure, because he's making me very passionate in this message, make sure that you are constantly, enforcing the boundaries that you set. Make sure that you are constantly making sure you're not allowing people of the past into your life. If you cut off ties with people, leave it there. Let that be that lesson learned. You do not want to send out the signal that you have not learned the lesson. You want to be careful what you magnetize to yourself. You want to be very mindful of what you magnetize to yourself. You don't want to send out the signal that you have not learned the lesson. Okay, because you want to work towards progressing and moving forward. So it's very important, It's very important, You got to watch your money and watch your honey. As you see her clutching the bag here. It's very important, and protect your peace. That she has her crown wrapped. Protect your crown as well. There are people who like to tap into manipulating energy and projecting energy onto people. Do your spiritual hygiene. Do your spiritual cleansing, your spiritual bath. Cleanse your home. Cleanse your body. Make sure you're cleansing your crown. Make sure you're putting your protection up. Do some research. And find out what works for you. Okay? If you don't got a pistol, get yourself a crystal. Next card we have here is the Page of Pentacles. And like I said, whenever people see that you are content, this person is at peace. She's keeping her balance. You see that one foot on that leg and she's holding it and she's focused, male or female, very focused. Focus on what needs to be done. And this could represent many things. This could be someone maintaining their balance in spirituality, maintaining having harmony in how they communicate with people, maintaining their balance in their career, how to maintain their money. This could be anything, okay? This Page of Pentacles here, this balance right here, just the endurance, of putting in the work and the effort. Folks will come and try to sabotage that. And Spirit is saying, by all means, protect it. And you don't have to do it with anxiety. You don't have to be stressed or overwhelmed. Make sure you stay spiritually in tune and practice your spiritual hygiene. Trust and know there's always a higher power working for you on your behalf. And your ancestors just a call away. We all have our own, okay? Our children have their own. If you are a parent, okay? Children have their own ancestors. We have our own guardians, okay? They're just a call away. Maybe you need to do some veneration work. Okay, that's for somebody, not everybody. But it's very important that you don't forget how powerful you are. Don't allow people to trigger you or try to get you to engage in nefarious activities, especially when you're working on progress. People will be sent your way, collective. Be careful. People will be sent your way to try to provoke you, to try to trigger you, to get you upset, to get you into a confrontation. Be mindful, okay? Everybody that's asking you, oh, come on, just have a little drink with me. Just come hang out for a minute. The fact that they pressing, you better get them the fish eye, baby. You better get them the fish eye, okay? The next card we have here is the Ace of Swords. So this is your clarity. This is your full enlightenment. You have taken the steps necessary to get to this status and this point. Yes, you are not where you want to be, but you're not where you used to be. And you are making a lot of progress. And you feel the progress. Whomever I'm talking to, you feel the progress. You can't put your finger on it, but you feel a difference. And it feels good. And it feels so good, you keep it to yourself. You don't know what it is, but you feel a shift within you spiritually. And it feels so good that you keep it to yourself. Keep it that way. Keep it to yourself, Get you some journals. Start to do some journaling. Writing could be very good for your mental faculties. Could be very good for you periodically. Get you a dream journal and a regular journal just to communicate, just to write things off, to empty your mind from time to time. But you've put in the work with these steps and you've put in all this work. People have to do their own work. We cannot save people. I want to be saved. That's E40, right? We're not saving people. No, no, they have to save themselves. They have to do their own work. It doesn't work that way. It's okay to have love for people. It's okay to have admiration for people, but they can only save themselves. You cannot do the work for them. Okay? They have to do their own work. Okay? The next card we have here is the moon energy. Okay? So you've waited long enough to receive that balance. You've put in the work. Let people and allow them to do their work. And it's okay to outgrow people. I talk about this a lot on my channel, even especially with romantic connections, whether you're married or engaged or dating, even friendships, any relationship, for what I'm about to say. As you move forward in life, your desires are going to change. The things you want and you desire are going to change. What you wanted when you're tweens, you don't want in your 20s. What you want in your 20s, you don't want in your 30s. What you want in your 30s, you don't want in your 40s. That person you thought you wanted to marry, you don't want to marry them. Back then, you thought they was it. But as you move forward, your desires change because you learn about what's important. You learn about what you want, and you learn about who you are, especially if you are working on standing in your authenticity. That's a rare thing, I know, but there's a batch of us out there who are standing, in our authenticity, which is a rarity here in the Matrix. But as you move forward, you will find your desires are going to change. It doesn't matter who you are, and that's one fact that is never addressed. It's rarely addressed. It's only addressed when maybe someone wants to get a divorce or they're thinking about separating or a friendship or something is not going right. Then people want to talk about it. But most of the time it's an argument or a fight. It's not even a talk. It's not even an adult conversation. The communication isn't even effective. But this is something that really should be considered. And we need to put that, on our frontal lobe, or in the middle of our brain, like, okay, I'm engaging myself in this connection, whether it's a friendship also. But as you move forward in life, are you okay when the desires start to change? Are you okay with that? And as a matter of fact, the person who you are linking to, friendship, love, or whatever, are they okay with that? Are they going to be okay if the desires change? If this is a connection that was just written in the stars for you to learn a karmic lesson, are you okay and are they okay with letting go? Okay, or is this somebody who's going to just cling on? Who's just going to hang on like weave here on the bathroom floor? You thought you swept and got it all up until a week later you see another piece of hair, like, wait a minute. Okay, or natural hair, either or, it's all good. Okay, hair or weave, it is all good. But anywho, yes, are you okay? When your desires change moving forward, and if you and whoever you are engaging with moving forward, Spirit wants you to consider that. You can ask this question. As a matter of fact, this would be a great conversation collective to have, not only with your lover or your spouse, but even with your friends. Like if you're having a game night or you're just in your friend circle, bring this topic up. Are you okay if your desires change moving forward? And if they say, yeah, just ask them, say, is your partner okay if the desires change? Are they willing to go on about their business, or are they willing to make adjustments? It's major. It's very major. That's a question that gets overlooked until something occurs, until you decide to go your separate ways, or, you don't want to be best friends no more, or, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The next card we have here is the Page of Cups. So Spirit is saying you don't have to be all in your head. It is very simple. It's very simple. It can all be so simple. But we rather make it hard. Yeah. Yes. To love does not have to be a battle. To love yourself, to love anyone else, we have to come to that realization of how to, once again, honor the gift of separation when it's time to let things go, people, places, and things, because once you conquer one goal, there's going to be something else. Once you conquer this goal, you're going to have another one here. Then once you conquer here, you're going to have another one here, and so on and so on. And so your palate, your taste, your liking, your mindset, the things you are able to endure is going to change And so it's going to create a change around you. It's going to catapult a massive change. And it's supposed to be. No one's supposed to stay the same. You're supposed to have that butterfly effect going on. You're supposed to be transforming. You're supposed to be changing up, moving different, meeting new people, moving forward. That's just some truth. I had to speak some truth while I'm in the booth. Some can handle it and some can't. But that is just the truth. So you are the star. So continue to shine bright. That's what the message is. And let no one try to take that from you, who you are. Let no one tell you you don't belong in the room that you've been invited in. Because the fact that you were invited, you belong there. You belong there. There are people who will constantly try to discourage you, try to make you feel some kind of way. It's time for you to fall in love with yourself. We hear about falling in love in relationships, but you need to fall in love with yourself. And once you can learn to really love yourself inside and out, every part of you, the old, the new, the good, the bad, the happy, the sad, the past, all that, your big feet, your small feet, whatever it is, your crooked smile, whatever it is, the bald spot that you try to cover, that hair dye that won't take, that ingrown toenail. Let's talk about it. Loving all of you. And I'm not saying this to mock anyone because nobody's perfect. Loving all of you wholeheartedly and not allowing anyone to come around you or come into your world and make you feel inferior or that you're not worthy of being loved and honored and respected. But most of all, receiving that reciprocity. Because as you move forward towards this new life and this victory and this success, can they handle it? Can they handle it, collective? And there are a lot of people who aren't going to be able to handle it. There's going to be some people you're going to have to let go. They're going to let you know they can't handle it. They're going to make it plain and clear. You think you all that. Or you forgot where you come from? Remember I loaned you $20 5 years ago? Confirmation. Embrace your uniqueness. I just said love all of you. Even the parts that you consider as a flaw. Because the world can't tell you what's flawed about you because we are all individually, uniquely, divinely created. The world can't tell you, can't nobody outside you tell you you're not beautiful and you're not handsome and you're not worthy of being loved. This is all in your head. This is you in your head telling yourself these things. Love all of you, all of who you are. I don't care how much you probably got teased in school or as an adult or in your friend circle. They ain't your friend. They wouldn't be my friend. They wouldn't be my friend. Believe in the magic of life. Believe in the magic of life. Collective, as many negative things that we hear in the media, on the television, in our communities, there are 100 things to match that one negative thing. And I mean that there are 100 good things to match that one negative thing that you are hearing. Be mindful. Be mindful, of saturating yourself, of constantly being around people who are naysayers or who are just negative. Confirmation. I was out on a walk, going for a walk. And I turned to the lady and I said, "It is a beautiful day." And the young lady would have said, "No, it isn't." And I just kept going and I laughed because that's a good example of a naysayer and a negative person. I just kept going and laughed. And I thought to myself, wow, she's stuck with that negative person. But people are entitled to feel how they want, but I wouldn't allow them around me. I wouldn't want that ish to rub off on me or inflict, any kind of stagnation on you and what source has for you, what the universe has for you, what's in your contract, the success, the prosperity, the bliss, the happiness, the relationships with reciprocity, being in relationships where people are emotionally available and they're not hiding anything, the kind of relationship where, oh yeah, I gotta do it, collective. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. The kind of relationship where the phone is not turned over, where the phone is not turned over and off, the phone is up. The kind of relationship where They don't have to walk outside to talk on the phone or walk in the next room. The kind of relationship where the phone is not turned over, is up and is on, is on, is is on, is not turned over. And they'll sit right there and talk in front of you because there's nothing to hide. You don't want to miss out on them things. So you want to be mindful. Protect your peace, protect your space, protect you, and your children if you are a parent. Go outside. Make sure you're connecting to nature. Make sure you're connecting to nature. Make sure you're doing that on a daily. Even if it's for 10 minutes, go out and get some fresh air. And don't forget to have some fun. So you ain't got to tell me this. You ain't got to tell me this. Sometimes I have to tell myself to sit down. Because I'll plan some outings back to back to back to back. Look, get out and have some fun. Go do what you love. Go do what you love. Put everything to the side and go do what you love. Pick one thing that makes you happy, that makes you smile, and go do that. Treat yourself. Treat yourself. And I love this one right here. This is my favorite. We have to stop being afraid to say no. I haven't used these cards in a while. I'm glad I found them. We have to stop being afraid to say no. Saying no does not mean that you're evil, does not mean that God is going to love you any less, does not mean that you're mean. It's called self-preservation, okay? And just being honest. There's no need for you to overwhelm yourself by saying yes and you really want to say no. That could be a big burden, saying yes and you really want to say no. There are some times in life where you can help people, and then there are 99.9999% of times where you just have to say no. Folks will wear out their welcome. They will spread you thin. They will take from you, and you look up and time has moved on and no one's giving anything back to you. That's not reciprocity, and that's not fair. Make sure you're drinking water. Every day, get you some water. Get you some agua, some H2O. Get you some water. And embrace your emotions. It's okay to have a sad day. Life is not perfect and no one is trying to be. You're perfectly fine the way you are and who you are. Embrace your emotions. If you're feeling funky, go ahead and feel funky. If you want to scream, go on and scream. If you want to cry, go on and cry. Just don't vacation there. Do not take your comfortable shoes. Do not take your favorite pillow, because then you're going to want to rest there and chill, okay? Just no. Go on and have your moment, and then come on back outside and have some fun. Or get you some water. And continue falling in love with yourself. Nobody's going to do it better than you. Your self-value and self-worth is not connected to who is willing to accept you. It's connected to, are you accepting you? Do you love you? And that takes work over time. It takes the buildup of momentum, the increase, the momentum over time. Affirmation, saying positive things to yourself. Being mindful of hanging around negative or toxic people, or people who want to body shame you and talk about your image. Doesn't matter what size you are. You are perfectly fine and beautiful the way you are. And if anyone around you has a problem with it, they should not be around you, nor should you honor them with your presence. They want you to feel like you're not the star, when in actuality you are. So anyone who is around you trying to slander your character or be mean, cruel, or rude to you intentionally, trying to make you feel bad, it is a plot. It is a plot to make you feel inferior so that you can give up on yourself, so that you can stop smiling, so that you can stop showing up, so you can stop going to the gym. Or maybe you started off doing 10 crunches and now you moved on to 20. They scared you might start doing 50. If collective keep going, they're going to keep doing crunches and their waistline going to get small. So the goal is, different people be in your path. It's all a test. But when you recognize them, just simply remove yourself from their presence. You don't have to curse anyone out. You don't have to get off your square. You don't have to lower your vibration. Simply remove yourself from look, this you, right? Soon as they you gone just that quick. And you don't have to announce your arrival or your departure. You do not have to announce why you are separating from people. Simply remove yourself because people know what they're doing. They're doing it intentionally and on purpose. It is not your fault that these people are unhappy and unhealed, but it is your responsibility to make sure you live your best life. Okay? Limit screen time. Okay? Maybe they're saying take a break from social media. You can start off a little at a time and increase that. Okay? There could be something negative that you're watching on social media that could be impacting you and possibly planting seeds of doubt. So be careful with that, collective. I love this. Remember that it will pass. So whatever it is that you may have experienced that was negative, or any blockages, or anyone telling you what you can't do, what you can't be, remember it will pass. Even if you're not having a good moment while you're watching this read, it will pass. This is your confirmation. There are no coincidences. It's just confirmation. And this is your confirmation. You've been told and projected on that word coincidence. Oh, that's just a coincidence. No, that's confirmation. Yes, that's spirit, that's source, that's energy. And I love this one. It says, confide your fears and worries. And it looks like she's talking to the angel. So whatever your belief system is, and all are welcome on this channel, okay? Whether it's your ancestors, whether it's God, universe, or however, whoever you refer to, whatever your belief system is, confide your worries and fears. Communicate with source. Do it in prayer. Do it in meditation. Go and speak to your counsel. Chit chat with your counsel. And always be grateful. Starting a gratitude journal is the best thing you could ever do for yourself, collective. I don't care who you are, male or female. And if you have children, giving them a journal and telling them to write down something every day that they're grateful for. Some people say 2 or 3 things. You can start off and say, hey, to everybody, look, everybody write down something they're grateful for. And I'm telling you, it will create a massive, loving, beautiful domino effect in your life. I cannot put it into words, but see that smile on her face? You're going to be just like that. That's all I can say. And you can do this, or if you have small children, this will be really a good habit to teach your children. You know, some people say, write down 2 or 3 things. Tell them write down one thing. Each day you get up, just write down, I am grateful, I am thankful. Oh, man. And watch the energy shift in your life. Watch the energy shift in your life, because it becomes an addiction. An addiction, but a positive one. You will not stop being grateful and thankful. And with momentum comes something even better. That's all I can tell you. Hopefully somebody follow it. Hopefully somebody follow it. Feel free to respect yourself in whatever way that you feel is fitting, whatever you deem to be respectful, whatever you consider is respecting yourself, not what other people tell you, whatever you feel is respecting yourself. Okay? And make sure others respect you as well, or they should not. They should not have access to you. And Source wants you to be brave. You have to be brave. Everyone is dealing with things. It has nothing to do with money. People think money, money, money. No, 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 no. Even the people with a lot of money, honey, got stuff going on. No diddy. Okay? Be brave. Keep showing up for yourself. Give yourself a break when you need to, but keep showing up for you. I just said give yourself a break. Take that break when you need to, but keep showing up for you. And you'll feel better. You'll feel replenished. You'll feel revived. You'll be glad that you took that break because you'll come back refreshed and you'll be so happy like, oh, I'm glad I took that break. I feel so much better now. Oh, I love this one here. Oh, I love this one. It says, speak nicely to other people. Because everything you put out comes back. Everything. And every day is not perfect. You can be going through, things, having a bad day, but you don't have to be, nasty to other people. If someone speaks and says hello, hello. Give them a simple hello. Yeah, speak nicely to other people. It counts. It counts. There is a world outside of your world, collective. Folks living their best life. Spirit is saying, get you some. Get you some. Don't you want to get you some? Know that you are always loved. Isn't that beautiful? Check it out. Know that you are always loved. Know that you are always loved. And before I close out the read, it's just about willing to do the work, willing to make the sacrifice. It's different. What we all want out of life is different. What we, define as happiness is different. What we define as love is different. And that's okay. But it's just all about, are you willing to do the work to get what you want out of life? No one can do it for you. But if you do your best, Spirit will meet you halfway. God will meet you halfway. Your ancestors will meet you halfway. The universe will meet you halfway. You have to be willing to do the work. That's what it's about. It doesn't matter who you are. And you have to be willing to be consistent. Whether you're starting a business, a family, whether you want a house, a car, more money, a different job, doesn't matter what it is. You just have to be willing to do the work. And it's okay to fail. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to not get something right. Be willing to ask questions and do the research, but be willing to do the work. Doesn't matter what your goal is or what plans you have on your mind or things you want to do. Are you willing to do the work on whatever that is that you are desiring? Or are you just sitting somewhere frowning at other people because they found that they are the MVP? They've figured it out. They have figured it out. And so folks are going around here remaining grateful and thankful. And they're blessed and highly favored because it's this energy that they're putting out. It's the momentum. And people think this is a fake thing when you meet somebody who's in this energy and they're always happy. What they say, happy-go-lucky. Hi, how you doing? Beautiful day. That is not fake. That is real. That energy is real. People ain't putting on. That's a vibration. That's a frequency. That's an energy. That's a vibe. And it's not fake. It's real. If you don't want to do nothing else, nothing that I name, do that gratitude and watch what happens. Just write down one thing a day that you're grateful for. And it's going to take its own course. Nature takes care of its own. It's going to take its own direction in your life in the greatest way. That's all I can say. Do that. Don't just think it. Write it down. Just every day, just write it down. I am grateful for, and going on about your business. I am grateful for, and just see. And you're going to be just like this. How you doing? How y'all doing? Y'all all right? All right now? You don't have folks looking at you. Look at the collective. Collective always happy, always smiling. Got to bounce till they walk. This concludes the read. I trust and hope it assists you for your highest good. Later.